Today we're going to be looking at some 3D fabric paints. Quite a few lovely colours here to look at, so stick around if you want to see how I'm going to use these in a little project. Hello and welcome to a kooky corner of YouTube. Today I'm having a look at some simple little projects that you can do in groups. You could do with your kids or grandkids, or you could just do for yourself. These paints were very kindly gifted to me by Resin, who reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to use these in some kind of a project and see how I got on with them. So this is my little foray into this fabric paint set. I have used fabric paints before, not particularly this brand, so I'm quite interested to see how they work. But especially 3D paints, I use a lot in my card making. So let me just show you some examples of that. So for example, I use them for decorative elements on my cards. They work really well for adding in little special details. So I incorporate 3D paints into my work. So let's have a little look at this set. So let's have a little look at what we've got in the box. On the side it says an expansive colour palette, we've got dimensional 3D texture, flexible and permanent formula, and a complete design suite included. I'm presuming that's maybe brushes perhaps. Let's open the box and have a look. Okay, so in the box, oh yes we do. We have a lovely sturdy plastic palette that you can use to put your paints in if you want to do some flat painting, or you could mix colours as well in that. See how that goes if you wanted something different from the colours that you've got. You have got a really nice range of colours here, but you could actually mix them as well. So another thing we've got in here are some little stencils. So if you want to put these on some clothing or on a jacket or on your sneakers perhaps, and then paint them, use them as a stencil to paint inside them. They've got quite a few of those in there. So let's see what we've got inside. So we've got some, oh, those are quite nice. Those are quite nice. Some little signs. We've got some animals, cats, dogs, rabbits, butterflies, a mermaid. We've got stars, we've got a rainbow, we've got a little ice cream there, and then we've got some leaves and flowers and a little apple. So we've got 4 of these stencil sheets to use if we needed to. It's nice to have that as an option for people who are not, or maybe kids who are not so confident at doing their own designs. Excellent to have those in there as a little, maybe a tester to see how it works. Into the paints then. Oh, actually, no, we've got some paintbrushes in here, so that's cool. We've got a flat paintbrush and 2 rounder ones there. That looks like a softer one, that looks like a stiffer one for detail. So that's nice. We've already got those in there, so we don't have to go out hunting for brushes. So to the glittery ones. So we've got 2 glitters. We've got a glitter silver and a glitter gold. And then we've got 4 metallics. These are nice to have. As I showed you on my cards, I tend to use the metallic-y ones for those purposes, for adding details into greetings cards. They're great just for just a few dotty details. But we've got silver, copper, purple and gold. Nice colours, good choices there. Then we've got the neons. One of my favourites, you might know. I do like a good neon. It looks like we've got a nice selection of 6 neon colours there. How nice are those? We might use some of those in our project today, perhaps. Then there are 5 pastels and a white, which are really, really nice. So we've got lavender, we've got baby blue, we've got mint green, peach pink, lemon yellow, we've got the white, They are all in there. And then you've got 16 of your other colours. No, 12 of your other colours, including a black. So you've got black and then 11 other colours. So you've got a grey, brown. I really like this cyan and these pinky colours. That's nice. That's a pink and that's mulberry jam. I like the sound of that one. Purple, yellow, green, blue, orange and red. So you've got a full set of colours there, and probably you could maybe even mix your own. So if you wanted some more pastel colours, you could probably mix them with a white and get a pastel. We've got plenty to go at here. A nice little set. I forgot to tell you how much is in each one. So we've got 20 millilitres or 0.68 fluid ounces of paint in a little thing here, in the little bottles. I would say this is a great kit. So if you're doing a party and you want an activity for kids to do when they arrive, or just something to do within the party to keep everything going, this would be a great little kit to have. You probably need to get yourself another couple more of these little plastic palettes, but they're easy to get hold of. And you've got an activity in a box. The other thing you need to get is something to decorate. And so to that mind, I have thought about it and thought what I wanted to do is to decorate up pencil cases. Pencil cases are great for everybody. Kids, adults, whatever. They're like a little pouch that you can take. You could make them into makeup pouches. You could have them as an artist pouch. You could use them for back to school. So, you know, it's one of those things that can be used by absolutely everybody. So I thought that's a really good little make for us to start with. So you all know I've been busy decorating up all kinds of little pencil cases of recent times. And this is one that I've prepped up. So this is a stencil of a fish. It's just on one of those pencil cases, a canvas pencil case that's left unfinished for you to add your own thing onto. Perfect for this kind of thing. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing some kind of a bright fish on this one, and I'm going to do some flat painting. And then also we can add some details in to show the dimensionality of the paints off. Now, while I've been off camera, I have done a little cheat sheet of all the colours. So these are the colours, the normally colours that you've got in a colour set. So you've got black, grey, brown. You've got that cyan colour. I love the mulberry jam. It's really cool. It's pink. And then all the other ones that were in there. Those are the pastels. Those are the metallics and the glitter. And these are the neons. You can see I'm doing that with them, but you can see the dimensionality of them now as well. Look at those, really cool. They've got a nice shine to them as well. They feel quite nice. I'm also wondering if you put these on a plastic, you could maybe peel them off and stick them, so you could make some little decals that way. Might try that too. Anyway, back to the fish. So I'm going to pick out my colours that I'm going to use for the fish. I think it's going to be fluorescence, and I'm going to do the flat painting first. So here we are. I've picked out all the neons. You knew I would. My stencil I've got from a stencil set that I had already, and I've just drawn around it with a fabric pen that won't move when I paint with it. So it's going to be like a permanent pen. And you could use these friction pens as well. They'd probably work too, to transfer your design on. Using a stencil is a quick way to get something on there. You could do your own design however you wanted it, but that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to pick my brush. I am going to, because these are quite small, I'm going to pick one of these rounder brushes. So for his head, I think I'm going to go for neon orange. So I'm going to squirt some neon orange into there. I'm not putting out too much, but if you do put out too much, what I've noticed is that you can easily, she said easily, but I did do this a minute ago. You can take this off and scoop some back in if you accidentally squirt too much out. So that's a good thing to know. Anyway, let's get back to our fishy. So the colour's going down nicely. It's going to be a nice bright fluorescent fish. And the thing about not putting out too much is, especially in warm weather, or if you're outside doing this as an activity, you don't want to be putting too much out at once. You can always add if you need to. The brushes are nice enough and to get into the small areas, and canvas just needs a little working into, obviously, because of the fabric that it is, but it's going down really nicely. So quite happy with this. Also, if I go over the black lines and I want to bring those back in, I can just go back into that after I've finished and they've all dried. So this is working really nicely. I like the fact that this dimensional paint, when you paint to make it flat, it's not scooching out into over the lines. Sometimes if you use a paint that's very wet, it starts to spread, but this isn't. It's doing a really good job of staying where I put it, so that's nice to know. It's looking very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to paint, and I'll speed this up a little bit. You can see how this is going down now really nicely, and we'll just speed it along a little bit so that you can see the painting process. Now I have finished painting my fish. If I want to, I can go back over some black lines if I've kind of gone over them a little bit, but this is looking okay. So now I want to go with some dimensional, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do different colours to the flat painting. So holding your brush, you need to give it a nice gentle squeeze. Now what I suggest you do before you start is to grab out a piece of paper and just do a little test run. I'm kind of using little dots Another thing I suggest with these is when you store them, if you keep them stored like that, so back in the box with the head down, then you will always have the paint at the tip and you won't have any air bubbles in there as well. So that's another little tip that I'll give you. That's how I'm going to store mine. So I'm going to go in here with a gentle hand and I'm just going to add these raised dotty details. I'm going to go in the middle there to there and out this way. I'm just filling it in to add some interest into my fish. So you can see the neon really pops off there, and the blue against the orange is a great colour combination. Now I'm going to go some coral and green. It says orange. Yes, it is an orange. It's a red I need actually. That's a red. So the more you squeeze, the more paint comes out. So you can see you can get some really nice variation in your dots. I'm going to make that a bit bigger. You can draw lines with these as well. You just need some practice. Oh, let's see how this ends up. So you can absolutely go to town with it. Adding in some real dimension here. And then I have got some glittery ones that I want to add in as well. But first of all, let's add some green onto this yellow. I'm just going to put a little bit there, a little bit there. And I've got that orange as well that I wanted to fill the middles of these in with. Because why not? And I will do the blue of his eye. I have painted it in blue already, but I think I want it to be dimensional now. So I'm just going to add that in on top. And then what I wanted to do is get out those glittery ones. I want to add in some glitter onto mine. So I've got some gold for this one. And I want to add in some gold. This is a gold metallic. I need to get the glitter out. The gold metallic looks nice as well. But I need the glittery one. There it is. You know I've got to have some glitz on it. And this will dry. And it looks quite white when it goes on. But when it dries, you'll see that glittery aspect of it. So it will dry clearer with the glitz in it. Try not to just manage to smudge my hand into it. That's another thing. You kind of have to work at a distance, especially when it's wet. Like so. So there we've got my fish all decorated up. So I'll be able to show you that when it's dried off and you'll be able to see how the glitter shows up a little more. I think I want to add some onto his tail as well. So I'm going to do some dots on the tail. So you might still be able to see the pink through when it's dry, but you'll also have some little glittery dots on there as well. There we go. One fishy. So if you didn't want to go completely neon, here's another version for you. Let me just pop this over to dry onto the other side. Give it a good 24 hours to dry off. But here's one done in like what I call the normal colours, not the neons and not the glitters. This is the colours that come with the set. And they are really nice. This has been drying off overnight. So you can see this one all painted up. Now, it doesn't come through to the other side, which is nice to know. But if you wanted to be extra sure, when you're painting them up, you could put a little bit of cardboard in there to stop it from coming through. So there we have it, some little painted fishies that you can have lots and lots of fun with. So Let's Resin paints are working really nicely. I'm very, very impressed with them. because of the amount that you get in the box as well, so many different variations of colours. I've bought dimensional paints singularly a long time ago, and they were quite expensive, so to have like a really nice set like this is just good and very, very, so to have a nice set with all the colours in it all together, you can't go wrong really. It's just a really nice little activity that you can do. And then you've got a pencil case that you can use. So back to school pencil cases, presents for friends, you know. I'm taking you back out again, there we go. So you can see all these beautiful colours here. So that's my little demonstration of how to use these. If you're interested, there's going to be a link in the description box below, and you can click that link and follow and get your own set of these if you are interested in doing a little bit of fabric painting. That's all from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at these. You can use these as well on, I was just thinking a tote bag would be great to decorate up as well. So that's another thing that you could use these for. Anything fabric wise, but also paper wise, like I showed you with my cards. So these little dots are great to add into your decorative greetings cards and things. We've got another one here. It's got some of the goldy bits on there. So that's another little use for them as well. Plenty of things that you can use these for and have a lot of fun. That's all from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. It costs you nothing, but it does mean a lot for the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll be back here very soon with something else. Bye for now.